What is going on, everybody? Your McLaren Speed Shop World Champion coming at you with another RP Law build, but different this time. We got a little bit of a collab going on. So another creator, RP Law creator, Jansuko. I asked him what the most recent build he was messing around and stuff with was, and this is what he sent me. So we're giving this a try. So giving him like some shout outs and stuff. He'll be in the top description if you want to check him out. And this is his build. Obviously different than mine. The key elements being he's got 4 kid, 4 queen. So different play style. If this is more your thing, here's a build for you. And if you have any questions and stuff, definitely jump over to his channel. Shoot him some questions about the build and stuff. Especially if his play style with these fits yours more than like my decks have like fit your play style. Like hopefully that makes sense. But like how I play Law could be completely different than how you play Law, and if that's a turn off to you, I want to be able to give you guys like a bunch of other alternatives of like other RP Law players that understand the like depths of like RP Law as much as me, but have different play styles. So like Jansuko is like fantastic player and plays differently with RP Law than me, but we both see like pretty much the same success. And yeah, these are just like the setup builds that he's got going on, testing out. Obviously different than like the one I'm messing around with, because it just varies, and it shows just like how RP Law can be like. There's so many builds that you can do with RP Law and you can win. Like it doesn't really matter the build you use, it just a lot of it just is all about like the time you kind of put in to like learn how your combinations and stuff work with your build. And yeah, want to give you guys another build and another kind of play style. So obviously with this one, if you're new to RP Law, I think also could be helpful for you to not burn out and abuse like Law's ability. I feel like that's the biggest issue when people are getting into RP Law. Like the ability is fantastic. Like obviously you can remove stuff, but you don't have to like spam it every turn. So a build like this is, I feel like, super helpful to teach you like the fundamentals, like probably better than where I'm at right now. So the builds I've been doing recently is based on like mostly my knowledge, but this I feel like structurally is pretty sound, because you want to play up a little bit getting the 5Ks out, because again these are both blockers and they're both at 6K, so no matter what opponent you're playing, and they have both great abilities. So Queen gives you like the card filtering, and then Kid's ability is fantastic, like one of the best like combos in the game, because you get the Don back from the deck and it's active. So in certain matchups and stuff that you do Kid's ability like Law, you get the active Don, and then you have one that you can throw down on a character or your leader to attack for like 6K, stuff like that, and it's great. It's like such a fantastic combo. And yeah, I definitely recommend doing this, especially also just experimenting around with Law, because if you're running into issues where you're burning out, then you got to play a little bit more. You got to pump the brakes a little bit and play a little bit more patiently, because a lot of it you don't have to use RP Law's ability like every turn. A lot of it is just using your leader ability at the right time. So depending on how you're playing, like Sakazuki for example, the key cards you want to bottom deck are like Rob Lucci, because Rob Lucci is their best card in their deck. But however, the weakness that we're able to exploit is Rob Lucci is not searchable. So they cannot search Rob Lucci. So when we bottom deck it, that means that then basically makes their Mancherry and their Rebecca kind of powerless, because the whole reason those cards are there is to recycle Rob from the trash. So because Rob isn't searchable, so I can continuously get Rob back. So saving, like, but that's where like RP Law is like tough, because if you're new to RP Law and you don't know like what is in your opponent's deck, it's very hard to know like what cards you like need to bottom deck and stuff like that, versus just like using the ability like every turn, because you don't need to do that at all. Because a lot of plays you can do as well with your like power reducers like Otama, Gordon, Fire Fist is if your opponent has a rested character and you want to build up Don, you can still play these cards, just play it on the rested and then like attack. Because it's also you don't have to like rush into draining their life as fast as possible. If you also just wipe their field, so that way they don't get a card from their life. And then also if you put them in the spot, if they then need to keep cards on the field to potentially burn a bunch of stuff out of their hand. So you can put your opponent in tight spots with still using the power reducers without using Law's ability. because then it allows you to save the Don. So then you can safely play like your queen and your kid, or build up, most importantly, to like ace, because ace can just straight up win you the game, because ace has 2 Gordons built in, and wiping your opponent's field with ace, and then your next turn you're gonna have just so many bodies on the board. There's not a lot of people that can keep up, especially like if you have ace at 7k and you have like a kid or a queen, or like potentially like both, depending on how the game's going. Like having this combo, the ace and the kid, is nuts. And then obviously if you have both of these out, you'll probably have 1 or 2 other cards, whether it's like any of these going on as well. So it's super strong like setup. But yeah, you just gotta, I don't know, it's just hard because the RP Law is just a tough deck to use overall. It takes a decent bit of time to kind of figure out what works for you is like the most important thing. So that's why I'm going to do my best to showcase you guys like other like creators builds and stuff like that. Just because if like you're not vibing with my playstyle, may fit better around like theirs or like their structure, and especially if you're running into like common issues of like running out of Don and stuff like that, just like give you different fundamental builds that'll teach you like not to do that, so that way you get used to like playing around that, and then whether you move away from any of these cards in the future or not, you still then know like that play style, because it can super help you against like other decks, like if you're playing like the 6k leaders and stuff like that. Because I know like sometimes you feel like it's just like a rush to try to get everything and beat your opponent as like fast as possible, and in some cases and some opponents that's totally fine, like being able to like blast like Zoros and then shambles out into like the boys like Beppo. Some opponents that is what you need to do, and then but other opponents you need to play a lot more patient and like more methodical and like pick your opponent apart. So I was just getting used to like the different flows and different like paces you got to go up against. But yeah, other cards that he's got in here, he's been messing around with Kamazo. Kamazo is pretty cool because on KO, so the only way to avoid Kamazo's on KO thing is if it gets bottom deck, but you can minus a Don and you get to KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So that's pretty big, because again, like all the blockers that all the top decks use are under 5 costs. So you have that, and also you can combo it to Uta. Like Uta is also blockers who you can search with, and with the -1 you get to rest someone. So obviously like late game, being able to rest like your opponent's blocker, like depending on who you're playing, they could have like a queen or kid out, like you're able to rest that and then set yourself up for the following turn. But feel free also to, you can play around the numbers. If you prefer Law, you can pump up Law, because Law early mid game, especially if your opponent is trying to like stack up cards in hand, like dropping this and just deleting 2 can be massive. Obviously RNG, but you never know. But yeah, enough yapping out of me. Jump into some gameplay here with Jansuko's build, and obviously yeah, top of the like description will be his info. So if you have any like super in-depth questions, please like jump over to his channel. Feel free to like ask him, or like in the Discord, whatever. But obviously though, just wanted to give you guys another little example of some of the other like top builds like people are using right now, and that are also having like the same amount of success that I'm like having with mine. And if my playstyle doesn't fit with you, then that's totally fine, and I hope this one does, because overall I just want RP Law to be successful. I don't care what cards are in the deck, as long as the leader is winning, because we're all on like the same team. So as long as get to see more RP Law play, I'm happy. But yeah, let's jump into some games and see how it goes. Alrighty, so we're jumping into a quick one. Sakazuki. Got to choose, so pick second. So that way we can play, didn't get our search, but we do have a Beppo and 2 of these right here, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, we get that. We get a Gordon. Like, we have Gordon for the impending Rob Lucci. But we'll see. I'm going to go aggressive here, just because we don't have any of our 5 cost stuff. So they got brand new, which is fine. And then, yeah, next turn, straight up drop. Well, I guess it depends what we get, so we'll see. Yeah, it's fine to take the life here. I think they're doing their attacking. Alright, take the life there. We get Ain. So we got plenty of Don replenishing cards here. So if I drop Ain, that gets us to 5. I minus the 3 down to 2. Then we're back to 4. Versus doing the 4 down to 1 to the 3. So that's probably the play. But yeah, let's attack them first though, 5 on 5. Just to avoid any possible shenanigans. So we burn that, that's fine. So we'll deploy that. Go 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that. Bring in the boys, get us back to the 4. So now we have 2 bodies. We have insane pressure on them. Again, they can't get rid of both. So not much they can do with that. And depending on the attack, like we can take 1 more life and then next turn we'll tee off on them pretty good here. So depending on what they drop, I have, if it's a 5k range, we can drop Law, but if they drop their Borsellino blocker, or if they go for Rob Lucci, we can drop Gordon to get them out. So bottom decking those cards are pretty important because then they can't do stuff later on with the recycle. So they got Great Eruption. That gets them down to that. And then attacking us, which is, okay, I'll take 1. And then now we'll play around our life. So they got Rob, which is totally fine. Now we get to tee off. We get rid of Rob as well. And keep ourselves in a situation to just like keep the pressure on them. So I have 6. What I want to do here, we want to go down to 3. So they're at 5. So ideally, I could play. Kind of want to keep Zoro for the end because Zoro's a good like ending card. I could play the Uta blocker, and then we have these 2, 1 for Gordon. So let me drop Gordo right away. So don't forget, get them down to the -3. So then I will put 1 on Ain. We'll attack 6 and 5. Alright, they decide to block out again. That's fine. And then I'll attack him again. Alright, so we're able to do that. And then, since I'm at 6, want to keep our... because this puts me up too far to be able to use the boys. Unless I drop this and Beppo. Because that would get me to 7, go down to 4. This give me 5, back to 7 next turn. But I've got to be... yeah, no, I don't think we can do that. So let's drop Ain blocker. We'll go 1, not Ain, Uta blocker, do that. And then since we have the 3, I'll do that. So next turn we'll have 7. Keeping up with pace on them because they also have 7. So we're chilling with that. And now we got these bodies out on the board. Got rid of the Rob. Make things a little bit more tougher on them. Only thing is, so now we got plenty of options to things to go into here. If they only attack for 5 on this, we'll definitely counter out of it. So we'll get rid of 1 Beppo. Because, yeah, don't want them to give them any shot of, like, getting rid of all 3. And now with them doing that, it now puts strain with them trying to get rid of these 2. Because, again, they're only at 7. So if they want to, even if they have another Rob, that's 4. They would have to have, like, a Great Eruption to get this down. Like, 2 Great Eruptions. Okay, so they do that. So there goes a 2k. So that's kind of fine. So Hound Blazing. Okay. And then Kuzan. Alright. So we're chilling with that. I have the Queen, which we'll probably can go into next turn. Because I want to drop this, get this guy down. And then, so that's 4. The Lisa's with 3. I could drop this and Zora. We just tee off with a bunch of attacks. And then I can get this out and bring in Ain. That could be the play, honestly. If we just go for absolute overwhelming attacks right here. So we get that. Because again, we knock them down. If you knock your opponent down in the hand, there's only so many options they can do. So they do that. So I'll deploy this on this man. And so I'm at 7. Go down 3, bring in Beppo. No, I'll bring in Ain because Beppo's got the 1K. And then I drop a Zoro right now and just go for an attack. So we'll attack him again, 5-on-5. Alrighty, and now we put them in an absolute insane situation. So I'll bring in Ain. We're going to be back at the 7 down for next turn. We got them down to 1. Get them in a spot where if they want to survive, they got to play blockers instead of cost removal. And if they attack any of our people low, I have this to, like, block out. But we'll just see what they do, honestly. Because if they don't play at least 2 blockers, then it might be over next turn. Because we know we've burnt through a lot of their 2Ks. There's one here. And then based on all the other stuff, they got this 2K, 2K, that. So they're dropping the Man Sherry. See what they can grab. Because the cool thing is, with all this, is we're able to avoid, like, the recycle, which is the biggest thing. So they grabbed Hina. So that's fine. Yeah, there's not a... Yeah, we got them. They're cooked. It's like straight up. So they're doing that. And then whoever they attack here, because this means they have another Rob. And so no blocker. We'll do that. And if they drop Rob to get rid of these 2, it's fine. They have no defense. They only have 3 cards. And I'm going to have 7 Don. And so we're chilling. We're chilling. So, yeah, we'll do this. We got that. I'll lead off with just 1-5. See what they do. Get a read of what's in their hand. Alright, so they do that. So there's that 1. So now I'll attack. We'll do 7. Alright, and then attack him for another 7. Alright, and then yeah, nothing they can do there. So the next attack was for 8, and statistically, is knowing what was in their trash, again, we went through other 2Ks. Like, they were very unlikely that these 2 are going to be also 2Ks, because one of them's on the board, and we know they early game, they burnt through them. So why that's like a pretty solid like read. If your opponent's blocking early game, that means most of their hand, especially in Sakazuki, most of their hand is probably like their 2K blockers. If they're especially early game, if they're just throwing them out, that's what how you can kind of read like Sakazuki and like what they've got and how they're gonna play. But yeah, we got them because as soon as you get like Sakazuki down and you take away their like cost removal ability, then you know you're gonna win. Because again, the only way he was gonna be able to withstand stuff is if he put down minimum 2 blockers on that turn instead of cost removal. And then since he couldn't and only did the cost removal, again that exhausts like all of their down resources. He's only attacked 5, so you obviously just block out of that and then repeat it next turn, swinging. And yeah, statistically speaking, he would have needed an insane hand to block out of the 8K here with like both of these. It would have been wild and wacky, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, a couple different other things too. Like also it's like for end game as well, like once you get them down, saving Zoro for like last turn, that's what I could have played a little differently, but I just wanted to take the shot to get the info. But other option for the end game would have been like keeping Zoro for this turn and then last turn dropping like the Beppo. So I would have had that, because that way he wouldn't have been able to do Rob, and he would have had to sack. Well, he would have, if he had this in his hand, he would have had to use this, and he still would have got rid of 2. But then this turn, if you still have Zoro in your hand, the best play is to like do this, I guess, if you want to do 7Ks, whatever, as long as you use 3. Use 3 down to attack, and then use Law's ability to then get rid of the 3 for attacking, bring in Zoro, and then whatever active down you have left, you then have to divvy up between like if I played differently, I would have dropped Zoro, and we would have had this Don and still 2 more attackers there. So that's like the other way you can play it. But obviously he would have been at the 1 life. But there's different endgame options. And again, another way to like read your opponent, especially with Sakazuki, of how they're playing, is just what they're doing early game to end game. A lot of times when I play Sakazuki, if they're blocking out early game, that means most of their hand is like their 2K counters. And if they're not blocking out early game, that means it's not. That means they probably, you know, have like their Rob or like their Borsellino, stuff like that. But yeah, this was the only other card I was like expecting. But we were able to switch it on them and go defensive like real quick, which is awesome. But yeah, continue the good streak, because RP Law is just like the Reaper for Sakazuki. And yeah, Jansuko's build, very fun to use. And yeah, starting off strong. All right, we got the interesting mirror matchup here, and we got an interesting little hand as well. So I got we have 2 kids, so we're chilling with that. See what they do if they load up and attack us. All right, never mind. They're throwing on Zoro, so take the 1, and then I'll block. If they attack leader, I'll block this. So we'll do that and that. And we're fine with that, because now I have the 4. So what do I want to do here? I can do this down on this, which and then I'm going to attack it. So deploy that down, and then if they block out of it, then we won't do anything. So 5 on 3, and I'm going to call it good there. Because next turn I can drop Kid, and then we also have Ain. Get a bunch of shenanigans going on. So they got this. Okay. So 6 on 5. I'll take this 1. Alright, we got an Otama. So now I can block out, play some defense. Because I can drop Otama here, get this guy down, and blender him. Because now I can drop a Kid and Ain here. So they do that, which is fine. So before I do that, though, let's launch just another attack. So we get 1 there, which is cool. Deploy this on them. Actually, I should have waited, because I forgot I'm dropping Kid. That was silly. Silly play out of me. 1, 2, 3. Do that. Bring in Ain here to get the 1. But yeah, misplay out of me. A Kid gives you the active one. So do that stuff first, because then you get the 1, and then you can attack with like a 6K if you don't have like a counter. But they drop the round table. I mean, that's fine. Get them exhaust resources, thrown in Zoro. Alright, 6 on 5. I go no. We'll block out of this one. And then force them to use this to go 7 on 5. Alright, that's fine. And we're basically going to do like the same thing here. So I'm at the 7. I can drop Kid again. Obviously, like, attack this guy. And then bring in one of our blockers. And so let me attack this just 5 on 5. And see what they do. Alright, they take the hit, which is pretty massive. So we'll deploy Kid. And then we'll go with our 1, 2, 3. I'll bring in Uta. That gives us 3. And then again, probably could have divided this up to get the sure thing, but either way, get like the little hand starve action here. And now we're going to be sitting at 7 Don. They're at 6. They throw down their Kid, but we're okay because we got Gordo. And then they're dropping Otama. So they're going to get rid of this. But now if they attack, I can block with Kid. So we're chilling. So they got the boys here. Okay, never mind. I forgot. Kid gives them the 1. Oh, they didn't attack. They wanted to keep that. I have Gordo. I can get this guy out. Bring in another blocker. Or I gotta use this. Drop this guy down. KO this. That might be what I want to do. Because then I could drop our search and then grab something too. So yeah, let me deploy this. We can grab Uta. So now I can play two. We can pop off right here. So do this and that because we're at the 2. Don't have to worry about too much here. Then I'll deploy this. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Get this guy out of here. Bring in Law over. I guess it doesn't really matter. Over Uta. So now we got the blockers set up. I got this one as well. I'll throw it on here. We'll attack them 6 on 5. Alright, they block out of that. Attack them again, 5 on 5. So they take the 1. So now I can put them in a situation. If I attack here, I can block with this regardless. They'd have to get rid of this guy. So let's do that. Then I'll go for game next turn. Because at the very least, we get them to exhaust stuff. Alright, they don't have it. So use that. Okay, so we'll see how things go here. The cool thing is we're at 5, so they can't really use like Beppo or anything to get any Don back. Just kind of depend what they do. Because again, we have the blockers, and then next turn I'm going to have 7. So we'll be kind of chilling here. Alright, that's an interesting throwdown, not going to lie. This is as well, because now they can't get rid of... Alright, they throw down a blocker. If I take that, then they have the 1. I guess it doesn't really matter. Because I'd rather them, I guess, attack me and then I can take it. Just to get, like, a Zoro, potentially. Alright, draw a card. We get Otama, which works as well. There's not a whole... They don't have, like, any options here. So we'll deploy Gordon here. Grab that guy. Do the ability. Go 1, 2, 2, 3. Get him out. Bring in Beppo for fun. And now they straight up don't have anything. So we'll just do that. And yeah. Even if they rad beam there, obviously we have this and this, so nothing to do. And yeah, able to just out body like in the mirror, because if you just, again, knowing RP Law and how they work, their ability to only get rid of 1, and especially if they play, it was like interesting. Is what I was trying to bait them into doing was I didn't expect them to drop the 10k because like with Kid rested, I was trying to bait them into attacking Kid and then. Like using Uta or something, and then like that. But either way, we probably would have the same amount of characters and everything. But yeah, little goofs and gaffes out of me with not counting and forgetting about Kid's ability. But again, this deck is like super strong if you like setting up your like blockers, because again, blockers I feel like also just give you like the little mental edge against the opponents, because then they're like, oh, I have to figure out like a way to get around these without and attacking. So you're able to just kind of do a bunch of little things. But yeah, we win the mirror here. Got the interesting I mean, they have a decent little setup. We were just able to get what we needed, like when we needed, and just kind of everything flowed together. It was very nice. Getting our search was cool. Get out the Uta blocker and stuff like that. And yeah, just operating again a little bit more patiently, so you get your down up, so then you can put down potentially like 2 characters and still use your ability and stuff like that, bring out other people. And it's pretty cool and very effective, especially in, yeah, like the mirror matchup and stuff like that. So we'll keep on moving. Alrighty, we're playing against Whitebeard. We're going to throw down our Gordon just right away. And then next turn, I'm going to pop him. We'll do the little 8k action. Then we'll kind of go from there. Try to set up some stuff. We have Queen. Then we go kind of aggro like after that. But yeah, the more characters we can get out, the better, because they are like ticking down on their life. The only problem is they just get they're able to get so many counters. So they grab the Rush Luffy, which is all right. Then they got both of their searches. All right, and they grab So we gotta be looking out for that. So we get Kid Blocker here. Trying to think what the best move is besides doing this. 8 on 6. If I knock them down before they can get up to like the Whitebeard, it'll be huge. Because Whitebeard for them gives them the boost and stops their life from going down. But put them in a bind here so I can't use any of their counter events. Stuff like that is kind of nice. So we get them to take the life, which is big. And then I'm at 3. So we need to wait like 1 turn. And then I can bring in Kid and then get rid of something and bring in like the boys as well. Because if they drop anything silly here, we do have Gordo, but I need to save Gordo because we know they have Luffy. Okay, they have 2 Makinos. Alright, well, that's a bit annoying. So, attacking 8 on 5. Yeah, we gotta take that one. So they're at 7 though. Okay, they decided not to. So what do I want to do here? So they're setting these up to boost up the like these. Obviously I can get rid of one of them here. So I have 5. I could drop Kid. Then bring, I think that's probably the best play. Because then I can still launch 1 attack, and then next turn we can just kind of build on stuff from there. So let's do that, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really matter which one we get rid of, so we'll get rid of that. I'll bring in the boys, that gives us 1. And then I can launch like 1 attack, a 6 on 6. Alright, we get them to block that, which is alright. So now they're going to be at 6. If they play, we know they have Luffy. So if they play that, I have a 2K. So they're playing Marco Blocker. I mean, that's fine. So I have this 2K to block 1 attack, and then I have this as well. But we can take 1. And then next turn I'm going to pop them with the one of these Makinos with Gordon, and then we'll use Gordon to get this guy out. So they're doing 8 on 5. So I'll take that. Alright, we get Otama. And then now if they attack 8 on 5, we can use both of these and block. Alright, they're doing 7. So I'll do this, and then where that card-wise? This and this. Because I want to drop this to get rid of 2 of their cards. Oh man, I got Ace. Ooh. Go down to Ace. Then I could bring in this as well. So if I go with Ace, I can grab, we can pretty much wipe their board here if I drop Ace. And then ideally set up things pretty nice here. So we go that and that. And then I want to go 1, 2, 3, get rid of this guy, bring in this, use the card action. Do that. We get rid of 2 of their cards. We got rid of Ace and another blocker, Marco. So now how do I want to go about this? So I don't super need. Let's just use Gordon to attack this. All right, and then if I launch. Attack one of them. Alright. I'm going to throw this on here. Attack them 7 on 6. Because where they'll be at? They're at 6. So they do that, and then we'll attack 5 on 0. Alright. So I have 1 blocker. Shenanigans are going to have 8. So depending on what they do, I have 2 2Ks. So I'm using this as a bit of bait. I want them to see what they do. So they throw down another search. So Jozu for the 2K. Because they know we're going to be wailing on them next turn, yeah? And I do have the Zoro play that we can go into as well. But yeah, we'll see what they do. Obviously, if they attack this, I mean, if they attack this for anything like low, then I'll block with this. Okay, they're just attacking me. Can I win next turn? They don't have any counter. I feel like I can. Alright. I feel like I have no idea why they did that. So no blocker. They'll just do that. Because they're going to lose a card here. And now they straight up just don't have like anything. So we'll do 8 on 6. Alright, and then I'm just going to throw all of these on Kid and attack him. 11 on 6. Because if he blocks out of this, then I'm getting rid of Luffy here. So we'll do that. And then I can attack this 5 on 3. Alright. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Get rid of this. Where am I sitting at with Don? 3. I'll bring in the boys here. We get our 1. And then we can launch another little 6 on 6. Alright. So we know they have a Whitebeard. 9C Whitebeard they can drop. I have a blocker though. And we have a couple of this. So we'll see what happens and what they try. Because if they drop 9C Whitebeard, I'll just throw Oliver down on ace and attack him. Because there's not like too much they can kind of do here. Okay, we got him in using Kid, drop him down, get Kid's ability, throw the last one. It's kind of what you got to do against Whitebeard. It's try your best to manage board control and just get as many bodies down as possible to play around this. And yeah, I'm totally fine with this. If they attack, no matter if they attack any of these 3. Alright, they're just attacking me. Okay, well, I feel like we just go for... So I block. I guess we'll be smart. I'll just block it just to see. Just in case, you know. Draw a card, draw a Don. So I'm at 8. We're gonna throw this all on ace. We're gonna attack them 15 on 8. Pretty much mathematically like impossible unless this is a rad beam and they're both so they can't do anything. But yeah, there you go. There you have it. This is Jansuko's build. You may vibe with this, more than my playstyle and everything. And obviously I want to experiment with it because again, it's a fantastic build. It's great. I think it works super well as well. You're able to do so many different kind of stuff. Obviously, it's more like you got your blockers. So if you like Kid and Queen, then this is for you. Definitely. If you have like this setup and you like playing around like all that kind of stuff, and it's super, super effective, especially too using like the film with the extra little 2K. So you got the Atama 2K and the Fiesta 2K. So you're chilling with that, and then obviously too you have the boys with their 2K if you need them. But yeah. Playing against Whitebeard, pretty standard of what you're able to do there. Obviously, pay attention to like their draw, like their search cards, what they pull, so then you can expect like what's coming later on. So we knew they had this, and then their only other option, like since we had everything set up, that was like their only play to drop that. And then because we just kept wailing on them so much and using all this kind of stuff, we were able to set things up, put them in a bit of a bind there. And yeah, using Kid kind of as bait when you have another blocker is kind of cool, especially also too if you have like the 2Ks in hand, so if they like attack Kid like since he's at 6, you can get away with stuff with the 8, or if you have another blocker, if you need to, you can sack that. This kid is super strong, just with that ability giving you that 1, especially in the matchups against like Newgate and RP Luffy, like getting that 1 back, so you're then able to then attack them like consistently on each turn is super strong and super important. But yeah, I wanted to test out this build list that I was sent to give you guys again another perspective, another view that's different than my own, and this may fit like your play style and stuff better. And if it does, Jansuko's information is going to be in the description. Definitely check out his channel and feel free. Again, he's super informative, plays the game like very well. Like for me, he's one of the few people I've talked to that like super also understands RP law, but he's just like plays different, and it's super cool because like we're both pretty successful with law, but just like completely different play styles, and it's like fascinating to me. But yeah, feel free if you have any questions about this build, like shoot them over to him, whether on his channel or if you want to come hang out in the Discord. The RP Law leader discussion is normally where we're at. Everybody there is super chill and super helpful, and yeah, that is running RP Law. Little extra something for you guys, and yeah, working for me, but also too I just have so much time in RP Law now. It's kind of wild, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.